Hello everybody, welcome to Builder By Behind the Scenes. I'm your host Gil Boyd, and I want to thank you for joining us. And this video is going to be all about our 8 wildlife video essentials. First thing we're going to start with will be the camera. We use a Canon G40, it might be a G50. What I'm going to suggest for your camera if you're out shooting wildlife, because it gets really bright out, I would suggest take a look at your screen and go ahead and turn up the contrast on that so you can see. Otherwise you get out there, you can't see squat, especially in the bright sunlight. So the first thing is your camera, turn that up. Next thing we need is memory. I'm going to show you some memory that we use. We use 128 gig cards. And again, I would go for whatever you find that's bang for the buck when you're looking for memory. We've got the camera, we've got the memory. We use a 128 gig card. This is what's in the camera right now. This is a 128 gig SDHC card, 150 megabit. This particular card is a SanDisk 512, and this is 170 megabit. And this third card is a 32 gig 90 megabit. This card was originally bought for the Nikon D90, but we could also use it in the camera. As a general rule, what we would suggest is probably a 64 gig card. It's adequate for most people. In fact, you might consider looking at one of the 10 packs. That way, if you need to hand out video to clients, personally, I like to keep copies of all the video I shoot, dump it to a hard drive, then put it on whatever medium somebody might want. These are the memories we use. I'll take the memory out and show you. Yes, we can put 2 cards in here, but I only keep one. The reason for that, I got out one time, a little bit of a mist, wasn't bad. Coming back, it was pretty bad and it was raining. Camera got wet. So now I keep a white trash bag in my pocket, folds up nice and easy that I can put on this. And we've got a vest we're going to take a look at that includes a little slicker that comes out of a bag and can go over the camera, which can come in really handy. But once we get through with the camera, the memory, then we need a good battery. The battery we use, these are Watson. We use the extended life batteries. And the nice thing about these batteries, I put a piece of painter's tape on them, and I'll usually label them some way with a quantity of 1 or 2, put a date on them, and also where they came from. This happened to come from B&H. That way I give me some idea of how long a life I can expect. Batteries don't last forever, but I would suggest 2 batteries per camera. I keep 1 battery in, it's always charged. I have a spare battery. For a while I was carrying it in my pocket. 1 battery is good for a constant shoot of about 2.5 hours. Are going to be all day shooting, then you definitely want a second battery. But as long as I turn the camera off while I'm scouting, getting from location to location, get my shots, turn it off, and go to the next spot, I can get all day on a battery and still have some left over. The next thing I wanted to do that I want to show you, we started with a strap, with this strap, and this came from one of our really old cameras. Did the job, kind of thin, but until we could make other arrangements. Because when you're out shooting, you're not real maybe sure what you're going to need. You just go out and then you figure out what you need. So we started with that strap. It's a little bit long, which was a problem. The problem being where it hits me when I'm wearing it. Now, as long as I'm walking, it's not that big a deal. But once I'm on a bike, I need that held up. So for right now, this strap gets me where I need to be. It's a little bit wider. It's a little bit more comfortable. And the way I've got it carried, just on the 1 loop at the handle, I may carry it on the 2 loops to get this bottom up just a little bit so I can keep it up while I'm riding, because sometimes it gets to sloshing around. And yes, there's a camera vest, we've tried it, that has some potential, but because of issues with the mount, we happen to have a Zacuto compliant mount, and these are Kessler mounts. I prefer these mounts, and push comes to shove, the Kessler for us always wins. Kessler does what we need. And we have this on all our cameras, on our tripods, monopod, everything. But that's another story. So once you get past that, the next thing you're going to want to look at is a filter. The filter we use is B+W. Now these are high quality filters, maybe more than what some people think they need or want. You can get less expensive, absolutely. But it's not just about the glass, which these are high quality, but it's also because it's a UV filter and an infrared filter. We're going to be using, and we need the infrared because we're going to be using a remote head that uses infrared light. So if we didn't have the filter on there, you'd see that little red beam of light. Now, because we were originally doing a live meeting inside, we were looking at a pan, tilt, and zoom, and what first got us thinking about that was a user was talking about, how do I get pan, tilt, and zoom on a camera outside? So we applied that inside, and that's the one we're going to show you. It can be used outside, they say, on cloudy days. There's a lot of different devices like that. We're going to show you the one we're using. That's the reason for these filters. But this is B+W, high quality glass, 58 millimeter, works on the G40, the G50, works on the XA15s, the XA35s. So whatever cameras we use, when we use that robotic head, we'll use this filter. And we'll show you in one of the videos something we hope to achieve that we hope that robotic head can do. Motion-wise, it can keep up with the motion. The problem is the tracking system it uses. It may be problematic outside. We're going to find out. Beyond that filter, the next thing we're going to need is the mountain bike itself. Now, as long as we're walking, we can only go so far and visit so many places. But after we've done our scouting and done our blocking shots, then we figure out and determine where our best locations are that we need to get to in succession as quickly as possible. So we have to have a mountain bike. So once the mountain bike is part of the process, it expands our horizon on how far we can go and how long we're out, which brings us to the next 2 points. Once you've got the equipment down, then you're probably going to want to take a bottle of water. You got to stay hydrated, and I would suggest some type of a protein bar. I keep a protein bar in a pocket, and while I'm on the bike, I keep the bottle of water with the bike. And that brings up another point. 3 other items you might want to consider on your bike. 1, bike straps. I'll show you in another video some bike straps. 2, a holder for a bottle of water on the frame. And 3, I have a little pouch underneath the seat where I can put stuff. I usually keep a bottle of water there. Sometimes I have other things down front, and I'll get into all that another time. But our big deal was we wanted to show you the 8 essentials that we go through, which are the camera, the memory, the battery, the strap, the filter, the mountain bike, the water, and a protein bar. So I hope you enjoyed this. We want to thank you for watching. I think you guys are amazing. I appreciate everybody that subscribes. Please subscribe. Thumbs up would be appreciated. And we look forward to hearing from you. Share your experience on what you do for your wildlife video essentials. Again, we hunt alligators. We're probably going to be hunting some wild pig pretty soon. So we hope we get some good pictures and hope we don't get gored. But we'll keep you posted. And you never know. Sometimes there's some beautiful birds of prey out there. We had a chance to get a shot of a couple of good-looking hawks on a fence line. But the time we brought the camera up, this happened to be all we had with us, they were gone. Should have had the video camera. So because of situations like that I could go on and on about, always be prepared. We use this, which would be number 9, for our blocking shots and to get an idea of how we want to frame things so that we go back and then we can repeat what we've done. But always keep your camera with you because you never know. You only get one time, one shot, and you got to make it count. And sometimes you just have to be patient. Sometimes it'll be right there in front of you. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. We're going to talk about some mics. Have a great day. Thank you. You guys are amazing.